What's up, y'all? So we're going to finish what we started earlier today, and I realize I'm on pretty late, but that's also very early for some of you around the world. So we're just going to go through everything, make sure that it's sounding good and it's popping, and then we're going to get ready to push this out. So let's check it out, go through the first. Let's go this track by track. So we'll go through the kick, configure that. Now I want to tweak this, put a high pass on this instead of a low pass, because remember that echo thing we said earlier. Made it. I'm always ready. Nice to see you. Hello, world. So I kind of want this to be more spread out. Like I want it to be more separated. Maybe I need more. Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah, offset. Yeah, there we go. I want it to be kind of really like spread out. Cool. I think that's a little too much. There we go, just a little bit, like kind of spread out everywhere. A little bit of a tone shifting. Just I don't think it needs it. So let's then move to the tom. That booming, big booming crash sound. Do we have all the instruments available for the underwater level from DK3? No, we do not. Still no. Yeah, we're looking for the bubble sound, but we I don't know when we're gonna have that because it seems to be a bottomless pit. So the big thud sound. I kind of want to darken it a bit, not too much that it totally destroys those highs, but there we go. So it's more of like a bomb explosion, more of like an explosion. There. And that's really all we want to do to that. The rest is like, it's like pretty good. Now the true kick, this one needs. Yeah, we want to feel that rumble because we can feel it in the original, but we still want it to be at 6 dB. Now this sound, it's got too much low end and not enough high. At least I think so. Let me check. Definitely a little bit brighter than it actually is in the game. There we go. And this I definitely want a low pass because it's got too much, it's too bright. Now we want some kind of reverb on this because it's just too dry. It's like inhumanly dry. Maybe let me grab an impulse like the exteriors. So maybe at a forest. There we go, that'll do. Now what about... That's good like that. Okay, now here's where we want to EQ a bit. And that's nice. I love this sound right here. This sounds so good right here. I love the way this came out. But one thing we still need to do is we need to use TSA 1R. And I want a big slap back for this one. See, I want it to sound like a big open space, which means it's not going to have so much reverb. So maybe we can take that down. So now we kind of want to do the same thing for the accompaniment and the drums. So I think the same, that actually, I know what the kick was missing. It's missing some kind of, like just a little bit of reverb. Just like the hi-hats. So let's do the same thing, do forest medium. And that'll make it sound a little more human. There we go, just give it a little more realism. Now that this needs to be tweaked a bit. trying to figure out which. See, there's an incredibly small range of speed you have to work with here. Now, we don't want a big sort of range for the, we don't want a lot of reverb here. But we do want a large pre-delay. There we go, about that size. See, now that just really just sounds like a wide open space. I love it. See, really, I'm just now working the details to make it sound more like a harmonica rather than a synth. Because we want to help it out a bit rather than just copying exactly what the system did. Oh. Good. I like it. I still might want to bring a little more saturation to this, because it still sounds like a synth. It just, the tone sounds too raw. There we go. Need a little buzz to it, like a little probably like crunchy sound, fuzzy sounding. So bring a little bit of that. Yeah, take this, if you take this part out of the EQ, it sounds way more like the original. There we go. Perfect. Now this, I want way more bass. But not so much highs. I want to kind of cut the highs a bit. And make sure to give it a little bit of saturation, because it feels like a sample. It feels too artificial. And we want to make sure that it's not going past 6. Good. Now here's the difficult part. We have 2 basses, so we have to kind of differentiate between those. I'll tell you one thing, we do want reverb higher frequencies, because they just sound so fake. But we want to EQ it so that there's no bass. But I think I want a little bit of chorus on this. And I want more volume on it, or at least more volume to work with in the mix. But I don't want that much volume. So, yeah, just kind of take it down. And we'll configure it later. Let me experiment with other kind of patches of this. But it still feels too plain, so I want to saturate it a bit. Now it sounds like an E-piano, old school E-piano. So I'm gonna go and try add some chorus to this, make it just sound a little nicer. There you go, bring out that brightness in there. But it still doesn't have that quality. Because I'm on the last one. There we go, that's perfect. Okay, so now let's bring the full thing into sounds. stream is lagging. There's not much I can do about that. Sorry. I guess my internet is just really bad. This saturation on there. Maybe I do, but maybe not. Maybe that saturation is the only reason I was having mixed feelings on. So is everybody liking that? Because if so, now it's time to EQ it a bit, or just like kind of cut off the ultrasonic frequencies and cut off the subsonic frequencies. So the really high highs and the really low lows, we don't want that. So we're going to kind of put a cap on it. Now on the other end, we need to do Maximus for mastering. Let's say that the low end caps at 3 dB and then starts compressing at 9, and it's going to let in for about 30 milliseconds. So now let me check this against the original, because I don't remember the original that well. So there's kicks there. I think I might have deleted that second kick. And I think I cut too much off that snare. The only thing that peaks in the bass is the string, is the when the acoustic bass combines with the kick. It's locked in place, but I think we can raise the volume of the string bass, or just make it darker, really. Like sort of raise the, actually raise the whole thing pretty dark. Not that much. Harmonica have a sharper. always seems to lower volume. I think, yeah, I just fixed that, like it's going again. Let's see how the whole thing holds up. I think the individual parts are pretty good, but let's see how it all holds up in the master channel. The kick is supposed to be lower than the snare, and it's pretty quiet. Well, no, the kick is not lower than the snare. The kick is way higher. Well, the bass is definitely loud enough. I think I know what's going on. think I fixed it. Good night, man. Thanks for coming to the stream. I think we're almost done here, so I want to check the original for a second. Actually, yeah, that's dangerous to sort of inclining that. If I want it to rumble by being like everything being louder, not just that part. This in my speakers so I can kind of hear from a different perspective, which means I'll have to mute my mic, so I'll be incommunicado.